Hey everybody, welcome to Movie Time. I'm Sean. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Alright guys, so this last week, the all-female, awesome, comedically talented cast of the upcoming Ghostbusters film visited Tufts Medical Center in Boston. The Tufts Medical Center, as far as I've read, is also connected with Children's Miracle Network. They went to go visit them, and I thought it was a really cool little thing they did, and dressed up in their suits, and it was awesome. I just wanted to lead off with this good news, this heartwarming news. The kids out in Boston at these hospitals have been very lucky as of late. Not only are they getting the Ghostbusters this time, but after the Super Bowl between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks, Chris Pratt and Chris Evans, the Chris's, they both made a bet, and I talked about this in one of my previous episodes. They made a bet, and whoever would lose would go to the other person's city and dress up in their character. The city of Boston's been very lucky because they had Chris Pratt and Chris Evans visit over there, and now they have the Ghostbusters. I think this is really good. It's a really nice thing to see these stars, these really popular, very funny, greatly talented actors going and visiting and making these children happy, putting a smile on their face. It's really good news, really happy, great way to start today's episode. That's what I wanted to do, and put a smile on people's face. So really good time. I'm really happy that they were able to do this. Now let's get into some of the weird news of the week. I can't explain this one. Another Dungeons and Dragons has been announced that it is going to be made. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you about this one. I never saw the previous one. I've read reviews, and I've seen reviews of the film, of the previous one from back in the day with Jeremy Irons, Marlon Wayans, and I never see anything good come from these reviews. It's always bad things about it, how terrible the movie was. So there is another Dungeons and Dragons movie coming for you Dungeons and Dragons, your D&D fans out there. Over the last few weeks, it's been rumored that Channing Tatum was having some troubles with the people at Fox and his role of Gambit, that he was possibly going to be stepping away. Well, it's been confirmed that he's not stepping away. That was all rumor. But it's also been said over this last week who the female lead of the movie Gambit will be. The character that will be played as the female lead is Belladonna Boudreaux, and she is coming from a guild. Gambit came from the Thieves Guild, she comes from the Assassins Guild. There was an arranged marriage to bring the guilds together, and this is like the history between the two. Apparently in the film, in the history, they go their separate ways. And so this is kind of going to be the setup for these two characters in the film. There are 3 actresses as of right now that are in the running for this character. We have Lea Seydoux, who's in the movie Spectre, Rebecca Ferguson from the movie Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, and Abby Lee from Mad Max Fury Road. This film is going to be directed by Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Rupert Wyatt. So this film has a lot of quality aspects to it. It looks like it's getting off on the right foot with what it's laying as groundwork of characters, of actors, director, and things of that nature. So that's good, but considering what just happened with Fantastic Four this week and where it's at with Rotten Tomatoes, it's close to 10 to 15%. I really hope Fox can kind of let Rupert Wyatt do his thing and make a good quality movie. I look forward to finding out who they cast as Belladonna Boudreaux. Alright guys, and last bit of news for this week. It is very good news for fans of the Hobbit trilogy. It has been announced that I think at AMC for sure, I don't know if any other theaters are participating, Fathom Events and Warner Brothers are really putting this together. The Hobbit extended editions of the films are going to be shown for 3 days starting October 5th at participating theaters. As of right now, I think AMC is probably the only one that I've seen that is actually going to be doing this. This is really cool news to get them back in theater and see them, you know, with the extended scenes, but in their full glory of, you know, of just the big screen, you know, the better sound, the better picture quality. So it's really cool news. The thing that I wish that was announced though is if, they do these 3, but then do the Lord of the Rings the next 3 days. That would be awesome. I really hope that comes to fruition. That's my wish for this piece of news. Alright guys, let's move on to the trailer segment. And this week there was one trailer that caught my attention. And it's a Fox movie. It's Deadpool. They actually put out 2 trailers for Deadpool. They put a green band trailer and they put a red band trailer. I watched both of them. Green band trailer's different a little bit. It takes out some of the blood. the bullets going through the head and things of that nature, the cursing, and some of the sexual innuendo. But it's still a good trailer. But the trailer that you want to see is the Redband trailer. That's what you want to see. I mean, this movie's gonna be rated R. Why do you want to see anything less than that? The trailer looks awesome. The movie looks like it's rolling ahead full steam, and I'm really excited, looking forward to seeing this film in theaters. Speaking of seeing a movie in theaters, let's move on to the in theaters segment for this week. There are two big movies coming out this week: Fantastic Four and The Gift. Fantastic Four looks mighty interesting, to say the least, but at the same time, I am awfully scared of this film. And when I say that, I mean that I'm scared it's going to be a major letdown. I've heard very bad reviews. I've heard that it's getting a very low score on Rotten Tomatoes right now, around the 10% to 15% range. That's not very good at all. It's just a lot of inconsistencies in the film that I've been hearing about. So I'm worried about this film. I do want to see it, mainly for the sake of seeing it. One of the biggest things that I'm disappointed about this movie that I'm hearing is that there's really only one major or fun action scene. Now, I might be describing it from the words that I've heard a little differently, but maybe the other ones weren't as prominent or pronounced as this one scene that in the forest. I'm gonna have to see this one to see where I stand on it for sure, but go in with with a limited, a set level of expectations. Don't go with it hoping for the moon, because from what it seems, nobody's getting that. The second movie is The Gift. This one has actually a few actors that you might recognize. You have Rebecca Hall. I'm pretty sure she was in Iron Man 3. You have Joel Edgerton, great actor. He was in The Warrior. He was the older brother of Tom Hardy. And Jason Bateman, who, this is actually a nice little turn for him. I'm interested in seeing his, dramatic chops. This film looks weird. I don't know what to get of it. So far in the trailers, it hasn't spelled out what the movie's going to be about, and I like that. So this film does have my interest, and I do want to see it. I just don't know when. But this one is in theaters. I forgot that there's actually a third movie that is going to be in theaters this week, and I spoke about his trailer when it first was released. The trailer was first released. It's called Ricki and the Flash. It's starring Meryl Streep, and apparently when I talked about this, I thought that girl looks like her daughter. I go, that girl looks so much like Meryl Streep. I just found out that it is Meryl Streep's daughter. She just goes by a different name. I know Meryl Streep's a great actress, but I really don't want to see any of her movies right now. I have a feeling this movie, it's gonna be Oscar buzz. I know it because it's Meryl Streep, of course. She just smiles on camera, and she gets nominated for an Oscar. So I'm not really interested in this movie. I don't think I'm going to be able to relate to this film, actually, because of what the setting is, what the plot is. So I'm not looking forward to this film. I'll probably watch it when it comes out on Blu-ray, watch it in Redbox or something. Alright guys, now on to Movie of the Week. This week's Movie of the Week was Jupiter Ascending. Now, I picked this film because I had heard a lot of things about this film, and there were only bad things about this film. I haven't heard anything good about this film. So I wanted to see it, and I wanted to see if possibly there was something inside of it that I could pull out and talk about that was good. And there are a few things I can pull from this film that I can say I liked. I truly did like. But there are just as many bad things about this film that I wish they would change or have done a better job of. Alright, first thing, what I like about this film. It's a science fiction film. I really love science fiction movies, and mainly because there's a lot of crappy science fiction movies that don't have big budgets. This one has a big budget, so they're able to really go out there and let you, see all kinds of things, give you a bunch of stuff for your science fiction, your fix that you need. So I really appreciate that. With that science fiction comes a lore, something that the history of this universe. I really liked it. They started getting into it, and at some points it was so eloquently spoken by, of course, of all people, Sean Bean. Side note, he doesn't die in this film. That's weird. He usually dies in everything he does. It's a Funny or Die or College Humor, I can't remember which one. They have a skit with him about him dying regarding his show Leverage, I think it was called. Yeah, he doesn't die, and he eloquently talks about the lore of this universe. And he does a great job at it. I really enjoy when he talks about how this universe, this world, the human race got to where it is. I loved it. I really dove right in with what he was saying. Some of the bad things that come with that, though, is some of the dialogue, the script, some of it just, my gosh, it was like it came out of a 7-year-old's brain. some of the lines, the dialogue between Channing Tatum, Mila Kunis, or just some of the villains, the antagonists in this film, because it seems that there's more than one. It's just like, it's just terrible. It's like it's out of the brain of a 7-year-old, and it goes from this nice, eloquent description of the lore to this really dumbed down, like 2nd grade level of monologue or dialogue. So when it would do that, it really would take me out of the film. So there's that. Something else I liked in this film, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. This film is gorgeous. It's directed by the Wachowski brothers. I don't know if I say that right or wrong. They did the Matrix trilogy. Now, they do a lot of beautiful films. They're able to they have a knack for it. But at the same time, that doesn't translate into a good movie. Spending a lot of money on a movie to get those beautiful, beautiful CGI scenes and whatnot doesn't mean this movie's gonna be good. Something that goes along with that, in my perspective, was the fight scenes. They looked beautiful, like the background, the dragon, lizard creatures, they looked great. Channing Tatum's shoes, those looked awesome. But the fights were so simplistic, and they looked as if, it made me feel as if Channing Tatum couldn't do a fight scene, or they just did not have good stunt choreographers, or they didn't have good stuntmen. I don't know. The fight scenes looked slow, like they were literally counting every time they did a move instead of just having it be second nature. So I had big problems with the fight scenes. Overall, this movie, it wasn't something I went into or came out of loving or hating. I'm kind of in the middle. I definitely could see its flaws. I could definitely see the positives in this film. The acting was mediocre at best. Eddie Redmayne in this film, Mr. freaking Stephen Hawking's and Academy Award nominee. I think he won the Academy Award. I felt that if he chose that this is how he wanted to play this character, I felt he did a terrible job. It did not fit into anything with his siblings in this film. And so I guess he held that character that he was trying to portray in his mind, but it was a terrible choice on his part. Like, was he not paying attention to the film around him? I don't know. The acting wasn't that great. Even your Academy Award winner wasn't that great. Overall, the film is so-so. If you really love science fiction movies, go see this film. You'll enjoy the lore of it. They do like push on some I love you stuff in there, some romances that really don't make sense at all, and they come out of nowhere. So it's a movie that's right there in the middle. If you really love science fiction movies, go rent this movie. Go get it from Redbox. Do not buy it. By all means, do not buy it. Go rent it from Redbox. But if you're not a science fiction fan, if you don't have that love for it like I do, just leave this movie alone. You're not missing much from this film if you do not have that love for science fiction movies like I do. So, yeah, that's it, you guys. Jupiter Ascending. Alright guys, so that's it for movie time this week. Remember to click the like, share, subscribe buttons down below. Leave your comments, questions, suggestions in the comment section. Let's have a great conversation this week. We'll see you next time.